Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of D&H, I'd like to welcome all of you to Powering Possibility, the Intel Advantage with HP devices. I'm Greg Martin, the business manager for HP with D&H, and I'm joined today by Thomas Francis. Thomas is our HP Intel commercial specialist from the Fantastic Four Alliance team. Thomas is a product expert in all things HP at Intel, and he serves our teams with regular product knowledge updates. Please go ahead and type any questions that come up for you in the that you may have. We'll answer them at the end of the presentation. Thomas, with that, I will hand this off to you.
Really appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone had a fantastic holiday week last week. As usual, I crushed it. Another 5 pounds put on. I'm doing good work over here. So excited about that. And again, looking forward to finishing up a great year here in 2025. And again, thanks for everyone for joining today. Again, really excited to talk about some great updates that we have in our Intel HP world and just helping folks kind of condense thoughts and really understand what we're trying to achieve with AI and some of the really cool advantages we have going on with Intel technology combined with the power of HP. And I'm hoping that we have a good Q&A after this, right? Because every month since really the beginning of August, and with the Windows 11 refresh and this intersection of the advent of AI and next gen AI, we've had so many things occurring that newsflash, is there a winning strategy to selling PCs in the AI era? There isn't, right? Let's close the PowerPoint we finished up here. But really, as we're talking to more and more people, the strategy is truly understanding your end user customer, because every customer, every reseller, every touch point is going to be so different in what their needs are, and truly understanding what system, what applications are going to benefit them, that understanding really what HP and Intel drives holistically from a system and a device perspective will help you right size what the customer needs and what's going to fit them best, and hopefully future-proof them as we move down the road with this technology. So with that, let's dive into it. Let's have some fun. And we're going to kick it off, obviously, with the beginning of AI. The beginning of AI. You know what's so funny? Again, I was talking to someone a couple weeks ago, and I was like, hey, what is like, what does everybody agree is like the first AI machine that was out there? And, we talked to a couple of folks in the industry and used AI, but we kind of settled on it was IBM Watson, right? If you don't remember those commercials now, about 15 years ago, 15 years ago, man, I'm feeling older than ever. 15 years ago, IBM Watson came out, right? All the IBM commercials, we put that thing on Jeopardy. It was your first commercially available AI that was, that the public could check out. And it was fun. If you don't remember all that fun stuff, right? We could go on, we could ask it funny questions, right? It would take like about 15 or so seconds to think about the answer. It spit something out, and we were all floored away. All the way to today, where we almost can't envision AI not being a part of our life ecosystem. We can't envision, to me, waking up and not being able to use this technology that we have to our advantage today. I would honestly be lost. Again, I used it last week. Again, I got a large family. We booked a trip to Disney, and I'm not kidding. Using a combination of Copilot, ChatGPT, and Gemini, again, bouncing around some ideas, I planned out a whole Disney itinerary within about 10 minutes. No sweat. I knew all the strategies, knew things to do, pumped it in, booked it, and then I was off and away. What might have taken me a whole day was now in the advent of several minutes. And that's where, as we begin to move forward with AI, understanding from a cloud perspective where we are today, right? The ability to hop on, do these things, to now where we're beginning to move into this ecosystem where we're beginning to ask the right questions. How secure is AI? What I put into it, is this being extrapolated elsewhere? How can I have workers, my folks in the office, people around me, make sure that information is secure? And we're talking more and more, as you can see on the bottom, about the cloud stuff being on our server's edge and being client-based. And what that entails is honestly, again, making sure that we have the right system, the right processor, et cetera. And when we talk about Intel today, we're going to really highlight two things that Intel is driving home when it comes to next-gen AI. The processor, right? We understand from a processor perspective, yes, we got to be fast. Yes, we have to have the correct NPU, and we want to have the right NPU tops. But ensuring that we have every ISV on board, developing and ensuring that we are really optimizing those AI applications for our processor, super critical. Also, again, keeping that security question front of mind, right? How secure is my data? What happens if I lose my data? Wherever I'm putting this information, can it get out? I think, again, as we begin really exploring AI and how we utilize it, we want to also make sure that we're super secure. So let's dive in and start answering those questions. So with our first slide, let's talk about our AI PC processor family when it comes to the Intel Core Ultra lineup. Look, we have our Series 1s, which again were our very, very first, that new AI PC era, our Meteor Lake processors. Now we've moved into right now what we consider next gen AI, our Lunar Lake. And when we move into our Arrow Lake refresh, again, those will be our next gen AI. And obviously we know all the rumors, we know what's coming down the pike. Intel Core Ultra 3 will be talked about soon and be released at CES. So again, more modern AI technology to talk about. But when we look at next gen AI, we are specifically focused in on Lunar Lake. And what does that Lunar Lake series of processors drive for us? Well, we're getting more AI on the AI PC. So when we talk about client-based AI, doing next-gen AI tasks on our PC, right? When we talk about things like Copilot Plus, there's a whole Adobe suite now that is arriving that is going to be next-gen AI based, so the ability to keep it all holistically on your PC. We want folks to understand that Intel not only is driving that experience, but we are on track for all of these ISVs to make sure that we're optimized with us. So as you can see, 23 to 24, again, that Meteor Lake processor, 104 AI features and ISVs were working for us. Now come to today, where we are up to 400 plus ISVs, all optimized for next gen AI. That is the difference. That is your winning strategy when talking about Intel, is that we continue to have the #1 PC developers program out there and ensuring that no matter what you're going to run with AI, it's ready for today, it's ready for tomorrow, and you're going to get the best experience. We want to make sure that, again, no matter what you do, whether, again, it's something that's out there today or it becomes proprietary, you're ready to rock, and Intel has you covered. On top of that, with the Intel perspective, now let's flip to the HP perspective and look at all the great devices that we have to meet your needs when they're powered by the Intel Core processor, right? Everything from our basic entry level, our ProBook, our actual ProBook 4 and 6s were just AI based. But now, again, when we're talking next gen AI needs, we're talking about our EliteBook 6 and 8. We're talking about our EliteBook X, our flips, the Elite Studio, the Desk 8 SSF, the minis, all the way up to all of our incredible workstations, right? When we're talking about our ZBooks and above. So we have a whole suite of products from an HP perspective. That doesn't matter if you're someone who's entry level, you're 9 to 5 ham and egger coming into the office, right? Who just needs some great AI capability to, again, hey, look up and optimize some schedules, condense emails and take some notes, all the way to folks who are, again, doing next gen AI modeling, our LLM folks. We have a G1i notebook desktop or a workstation that is going to meet your needs. Again, when we look at the G1i and we look at the actual books themselves and the processors and et cetera, what I really want folks to understand and realize is those last two pieces. Look, we know as we move up to the next level of processor, yes, it's going to be faster. Yes, our GPUs that are built in, they're getting better and better. And obviously, again, everyone heard the news. Now with our partnership with NVIDIA, we're going to have some incredible stuff launching and coming out in 2026 and beyond. But those two pieces, that efficiency on that processor and the performance per watt. I think this is where Intel does such a great job. And don't get me wrong, right? Our competitor is fantastic, and they're really doing a great job overall with their systems. But when it comes down to performance in the workspace, again, not everyone's a gamer. When we're talking about performance in the workspace, this is where we get the juice out of the squeeze. Again, right now, I don't know if folks know, I'm freezing my butt off in Maryland. We're out here with a few Fed partners today. And for me right now, I am not plugged in. I'm in my hotel room. We've been on the go, just got back in doing this presentation. I have my EliteBook X Flip. I absolutely love it because it allows me to be mobile without limits. I'm not worried about being plugged in. I can get all day battery life, the ability for me to present, be on the go, be on the move. And then on top of it, as again, the battery begins to dwindle, I'm still getting incredible performance. I'm still able to do the things that I need to do inside of my business, again, be on these conference calls, talk, present, etc., and be on the go and not worried about battery life. Again, this is where Intel is making such incredible gains. And we're finally talking about things like all-day battery life. And it's only going to get better as we're slimming down processors, as we're getting better at refining them. And on top of it, keep in mind, as we begin layering on more and more AI tasks that are going to be localized on your machine, you're going to want a processor that's efficient. You're going to want a processor that has historic the actual performance per watt. Again, that's really going to matter as we begin to layer on more and more and more, not only the CPU and the GPU, but that NPU, that AI processor as well. That's going to be your Intel difference. Last but not least, again, all of these things that now it's no longer, hey, let me just use ChatGPT to find that amazing new ramen restaurant that we haven't seen yet. It is becoming integral that we have all of these things running and gunning at all times, right? The ability to have Copilot Plus, again, really reading out and summarizing everything I do, to have recall. Recall has been such a blessing. Again, if you don't have a next gen AI machine, recall is great. Old dudes like myself, I'm just, again, I can't keep it all here, right? The ability for me to pop in and go, shoot, what did me and Michael from Hardware talk about 2 weeks ago with that presentation that I was supposed to send him something? I could literally verbatim pop that into recall, and it will come out with showing me the team's conversation, showing me the email that I wrote, and go, hey, yeah, look, this is the snapshot. This is what you guys were talking about. On top of that, for folks who are editing video, for folks who are really, again, integrating video calls and making sure they have the best, clearest, crispest video and quality, for folks, again, who really want to get big data analysis in moments with AI, and the ability, again, just simply put, at the end of the day, hey, can you summarize my emails and give me a couple call outs of what I was supposed to send today or miss, or what did I miss, or I know there were some action items. I can all this at the tip of my finger. So for us, we're leveraging more time in our business, in our daily lives, to ensure what we want to do and what's important we can, without getting bogged down by all this extra analysis, and really be able to get the big picture right in front of us. You can do that with an Intel-based machine, and you're going to want that, obviously, as more and more AI applications, not being in the cloud, but being local on your machine. Again, last but not least, when it comes to that really big Intel difference, we know that if you haven't moved to Wi-Fi 7 yet, I urge you to. It is a game changer. Again, if you've been on Wi-Fi 6 for quite some time, and it's been around for a minute, finally updated the house about a month and a half ago with Wi-Fi 7, the route, and it is incredible, right? I stopped yelling at my Optimum company about, hey, the speeds are slow. Well, no, it's if you actually had the right router and the right Wi-Fi mesh system with Wi-Fi 7, it's incredible. It's a game changer. You definitely, if you haven't checked it out, make sure you get on that. But Wi-Fi 7, super duper fast, so great. Best in class wired connectivity solution. Yes, with Intel Thunderbolt being built in, the ability to plug in all our great connectivity pieces, USB-Cs. Again, we got DisplayPort on here. We got a whole variety of things for you to come in with, right? Last but not least, again, this power consumption piece, I will hammer this home all day, every day for folks who really want to get, again, an incredible system and ensure that they can actually use it. Again, I can't be plugged in all the time. I'm in airports, I'm moving around, giving presentations. And even again, for someone who's not so much on the go like me, but we just want to crash on the couch and do some work and not have to worry about, hey, moving the dog or the cat out of the way to go find that outlet. Just real life stuff like that. These machines are incredible, and they really do give you that all day battery life. Now, let's flip over to the security piece of this. Now, this is where, again, when we talk about next gen AI, this is where we really want to hammer this home, because again, if you don't realize it today, whether you're using ChatGPT, Gemini, basic Copilot, Claude, whatever it is, whatever AI system that you're using, whatever information you put out there, keep in mind, it's not secure. It goes out to that LLM. And again, anyone can go ahead and search it. So if you're putting sensitive company information, sensitive personal information, whatever the case may be, we can go ahead and get that. So that's where, again, a lot of companies, a lot of end users, a lot of clients, a lot of folks are going, great, we love AI. How do we keep it secure? Well, that's where a next gen AI system comes in. Things like Copilot Plus, the ability for you to make sure that everything stays on your machine. But on the flip side, the security piece of it, having the ability for not only, hey, I want to make sure that whatever I'm using is locked down and secure, but God forbid we lose a system, move a system. We have a system that we need to, again, get booted up to. We have a system that's remotely working, but we need access to it. And, it blue screened on us. So many questions Intel vPro can answer for you. If you're not familiar with the Intel vPro platform, it's just incredible. And again, getting to really know it and see it this year has opened my eyes to so many things that it can do. Again, what vPro is a two form factor piece. It's that hardware chip that's built onto the CPU. So you have that piece. And then again, it's a software piece that, again, you can literally go right onto the web and access those vPro systems once they're set up. Now, vPro has been around for 20 years. So why hasn't Intel really pushed this hard? Well, simply put, again, Intel vPro was a bit unwieldy, right? It was a ton of steps to set up. It required an IT administrator. It required folks that know how. You were making late night calls to Intel. It was kind of a bear. 24 into 25, we upgraded Intel vPro, and now it is one of the easiest systems to deploy and use. Again, got to see it live action a couple months ago, finally, from a basic install all the way to having it running, and it was less than 30 minutes. And the adaptability of the system, the accessibility of the system, it is so super easy. So let's talk about that. Again, with the Intel vPro platform, simply put, it is a security piece that allows you, no matter what happens, right? Again, we actually had a customer who had a big Black Friday fail. A lot of their machines it did not boot locally in a server that we had in Canada, et cetera. Because those were Intel vPro machines, they were able to remotely, without anyone there, reboot those systems. One system actually needed to be formatted. They reformatted that system, made a copy of the install and needed to go on that system, got all those systems back up, and then their server was able to get back up. The power of Intel vPro ensuring that, hey, we can not only do that, but from a security standpoint, again, a system needs to be formatted, a system needs to be locked down, or simply put, a virus, a malicious AI agent has completely blue screened our system, or again, even wipe the BIOS. We can bypass all of that. We can help get that system back, get it up and working. And again, it is outage remediation made simple. So again, you can see all the stats with Intel vPro here, but I want to really get into the meat of this. This was the biggest upgrade for us. It is commercial grade security. And again, it helps us get systems back up and going, even when you don't have access to them. Even when, again, blue screen, a BIOS wipe, et cetera, we can get it back up and running. And simply put, it's now 6 easy steps. It doesn't require a high-end IT professional. It doesn't require someone in the know. As long as this has been set up in the beginning, and I can tell you, it is a 6-minute setup. I've watched it from beginning to end. As long as you have that setup piece, you're good to go. Well, Tom, I know it probably costs a bunch, right? And I know you probably got Intel sales reps waiting at this end of the presentation is going to sell me vPro, and that's the best part of it. When you buy that vPro chip, it's a couple more dollars for the vPro chip, and again, you already have access to the software. As long as you have it installed on the client side, you're good to go. And anyone can manage this from anywhere. It does not require a ton of technical know-how. And again, very simply put, no matter what happens to those systems, you can get them back up and running. Even again, if you're not in front of them, as long as they're plugged in and you have a network connected, you're good to go. Okay, blue screen of death, BIOS wipe, doesn't matter. We get you back up and running. Now that is a big win in this kind of era where, again, these AI attacks, if you don't have the ability to really help yourself and be insulated from this stuff, they're going to be far more fast-paced than they ever were before, right? It's not one person behind the screen writing a script and installing it. It is someone pushing a button. And now because of AI and AI scripts, it is very easy to roll these out, very easy to distribute this. And where there's holes, they will get in quickly. Again, I'm sure there's folks who have stories already of people who haven't made the move to Windows 11, or folks who are seeing really sophisticated email spoofs. They're not those funny emails that come through anymore that are misspelled, and we don't even know who this is from, right? It is clean, crisp looking emails that come from the head of sales or from the CEO, and they look legit and they look spot on, and they have you open it, and then sure enough, again, these malicious scripts get installed and we lose that system. Not any longer with Intel vPro, which is such a game changer. Again, it is an incredible, comprehensive business platform. When you get Intel vPro, we can drive faster PC refreshes. Think about this. Imagine, again, being able to, in another state, turn on machines, not touch them, and install all the applications that you need on it, right? Get your mirrored image put on there, rocking and rolling. Imagine one school administrator no longer needing to check in on administrator systems, student systems, et cetera. An administrator gets a blue screen of death, not a problem. Let's go ahead and get you back to square one. Let's get that refreshed. Let's fix that for you. Again, reinstall that image, good to go. And again, last but not least, planning for the unexpected. Again, when CrowdStrike hit last year, no one could have foreseen what a disaster that would have been. But across the board, right, it took so many folks out of business for so long, sales were lost, but there are so many great cases and case studies of folks who did have security software along with Intel vPro who got those machines back up and running within hours. We want to make sure we minimize those security risks, and we have you up and running. It is trusted reliability from Intel. When you stick it on an HP machine with Wolf security, you're going to get the best of both worlds, and you're going to feel really great about having those advantages. So wrapping this all up, right? Again, we spent several months now on the road. I feel like I have learned and lost more about AI than I ever wish to care about. But really what we're understanding of how this plays out for so many different people, like I said in the beginning, there really isn't a true winning strategy. The strategy is right-sizing your customer and understanding how AI plays in that world. And then with the benefits of Intel and HP, showing them a world that no matter how they're going to use it, they're going to be ready for whatever needs they have, and they're going to feel really secure doing it. I think that's going to be the big winning strategy, right? Understanding from a security standpoint, you're covered, and then wherever you decide to go on your AI journey, we got you. And on top of that, again, incredible machines from HP, right? The best overall business PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors. We know, again, these machines are just fantastic. And on top of that, you already have HP Wolf security built in, HP One Assistant built in, ready to go day one with all these AI needs. From that Intel perspective, AI ready for the today and the future, it does mean a ton. Again, we have that #1 entry leading AI PC developers program. The most ISVs signed on and optimizing all their AI applications with us, you're going to want that. Again, I don't care what kind of NPU you have in your system. If it's not done with Intel, you're not getting the best optimization needs for your AI services. You're going to want to do it with us. And that, last but not least, again, we know we've moved into Windows 11, but as we continue to move into it, right, we have so many customers today that are still using Windows 10, even some folks who had some real legacy software that, again, just hasn't moved to Windows 11. We understand that, but we're making sure that we still drive compatibility with those applications, with those systems. And with all of that entailed, we know, again, we're going to have the best, most secure system that is going to ensure that we can continue rocking and rolling no matter what happens. So from that perspective, thank you. We have a really killer 2026 story coming, right? Again, we've talked about obviously all the great things that we have here today, but that NVIDIA partnership is absolutely huge, and that is going to drive a great story. We know we have Intel Core Ultra 3 processors getting launched within a month at CES. That CES show is going to be legendary. I don't want to say we're making a comeback, right? Because we never took a hit, but I'm really excited that Intel is focused on the right stuff. It is not going to be about who has the fastest NPU or who's going to drive the best gaming speeds, but ultimately a system that has a collaborative need that fits everyone. Again, from a productivity standpoint, a gaming standpoint, an AI standpoint, we need systems that are going to really cover the whole enchilada. And that's where HP and Intel are creating a great story. So with that, I'll end there. I'm going to open it up for questions or, again, things that are on folks' mind. No, I don't know if you're on the naughty or nice list with Santa, but I will do my best to answer what I can.
Thomas, we were asked a product-specific question about a product line. It says the EliteBooks X Flip is a new model series. Can you speak about the differences between the Flip and the X360 and the audience that it's for and the needs that the X Flip fulfills compared to the X360?
Yeah, the flip is swag. I like to really at the end of the day just tell you that flip is swag, right? Because there is nothing anyone more wows in front of someone that, yeah, when you're showing them the system, it's great, and then all of a sudden you pop a video on it and you do that kind of whoop, and you show that other side of the screen. It is all about swag. I can't define it more than that. But if you have someone, hey, again, sitting and we're doing presentations inside small, intimate offices, or again, simply put, on a more personal level, right? Flipping it around, getting that whole experience and standing up your screen and watching that video, that really, truly, truly is where that difference is going to be. And again, if that differentiator matters to you, fantastic. Or again, you have a small toddler at home that loves grabbing your system and twisting it around, and right, you don't want it to break. The Flip is fantastic for that. But truly, that's more of a personal preference and flavor than anything, if that makes sense.
Great.
Hey, Thomas, this is Terry DeWalt. I wanted to add to that. The EliteBook X Flip is part of the new G1i family. So it's the current generation versus N-1 generation with the X360s. And the EliteBook X is powered. You have a choice. That one is powered by Lunar Lake. So it's a Copilot Plus PC. So it's the best out there in terms of performance and battery and performance per watt. So I would also look inside under the hoods of the processor itself, and you'll see that you've got the performance and the current generation of AI capabilities there in Lunar Lake with the EliteBook X Flip.
And to Terry's point, like, keep in mind when you're looking at your SKUs and you're looking at obviously what you have in inventory and et cetera, we really have made a great push of getting next-gen AI SKUs into this channel. So that's where, again, having the conversation with, again, whoever it may be, the end user, client, resellers, et cetera, having that conversation of why this makes sense from this standpoint, this is the way that the industry is moving. Again, it is less and less and less cloud-based. I would probably be not remiss to see, again, things as we venture forward, more and really shift from the cloud to a client and edge perspective, really seeing what we're going to do in 2026 with more applications local on your machine that, again, allow you to continue to get those best of those hybrid worlds. But really, this is going to be the era of, and the year, let's call it, of the NPU this year. You're going to see folks and more applications drive that NPU need than ever before. Yes, it's something that we talked about in 25, but you're really going to see that this year. And that's where, again, making sure you're right sizing whoever it is you speak to and understanding what their needs are, but also, again, putting into play how important this security and AI story is and where they're going with it is going to be critical.
Lovely. That was
Who else out there?
Yeah, I think that takes care of the questions we've received. If anyone has any other, they can drop them in quick while we're still here. If not,
I think that just means we nailed it.
I think so. Well, Thomas, Terry, thank you for bringing us the update and the knowledge and the insights that you guys have got into the business, the industry here. And to our guests, our partners, thank you all for your support of D&H, Intel, and HP. And I hope you all have a wonderful remainder of your day and your week.
Enjoy and happy holidays, everybody.